blastmusic247.com. We're changing the industry one artist at a time.
What's good, everybody? What's good? What's good? I am Paul Cram, the poet, and this is another episode of the Louisiana Lyricist Lounge presented by Blast Music. So, man, tonight, I'm a different type of excited. Like the artist that we have tonight, man, is just purely phenomenal. Purely phenomenal. But you know, we're going to always have our jokes. We're going to have our games. We're going to have our fun. We're going to do our thing. But she also going to bring that heat. So y'all going to have to be prepared for this. So let me go ahead and introduce you guys real quick, give you a brief description of our guest tonight. Sharita C.W. Dela Cruz is from Greensboro, North Carolina. She has utilized poetry and short stories to express and confess the joys and trials of her journey since the age of 8. She testifies of encouragement, love, inclusion, enlightenment, and overcoming adversity in prose on page and on stage. Sharita creates and recites whenever she can to be an inspiration to those within the sound of her voice. She is passionate about giving others opportunity to use poetry to bring out the best in themselves. As of 2024, she has been reciting poetry on stage for 24 years. If you look at her, you won't be able to tell that. So letting y'all know that right now. Sharita has been delighted audience as a featured poet and speaker for numerous community events and private engagement in North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, New Jersey, New York, and Georgia for the Augusta Arts Festival, and most recently Duke University. She was nominated in 2021 and 2024 for Poet of the Year by the Featured Highlights Awards and Onyx Urban Media Group, respectively. She is also co-founder of the Gate City Griot Slam Team in Guilford County, North Carolina. So without further ado, everybody please welcome Miss Sharita C.W. Dela Cruz. What's good, superstar? Welcome to the lounge. You on mute? Take your get on mute.
There it is. There it is. Boom. What's going on, Paul Cram?
What's good? Good. Thank you for making time for us to join us at the lounge, man.
Not a problem.
Oh,
you
man,
guys are awesome.
So I see here in reading your bio, you say you pretty much got your journey started with writing poetry at the age of 8.
Yes.
At that young age, what was it that made you like, you know what, this is what I want to do?
It was really like a release or a therapeutic tool. Journaling was the start. Living in the life that I was living at that point in my life, I needed an outlet, and poet was that outlet, and it has always been that outlet. I knew it would never not be in my life. I did early on want to be a civil rights attorney in the likeness of Thurgood Marshall. But, life took different turns, but at the same time, writing is the one thing that never left. It could never.
That's what's up, man. Like writing is, I tell people all the time, man, like there's a lot of people I didn't put my hands on because I was able to grab a pen.
Say that.
It just helped. It's so therapeutic for me, man. It's a lot of people that probably wish I could have reached that pen first. But it was writing is everything to me. So,
absolutely.
Do you have a favorite poet?
I do. I really like Maya Angelou a lot.
Shout out.
She was the voice I didn't have until I realized I had a voice. Poetically. hip hop played a big part. So, I can always shout out Ursula Rucker, Common, um, uh, Pasta News from De La Soul. So those are my favorite poets as well.
Oh,
If
I
that makes
definitely feel
sense.
that. Oh, 100% makes sense. I tell people all, this is just my opinion. I may be wrong, some people may disagree with me, but I feel like not every poet can go out and be a rapper. Like that's just not what you do. But there's not one rap song that's not poetry.
I ain't
It
gonna hold you.
like,
Yes.
I'm not a rapper. If you give me a beat and you tell me pretty much what we talking about, give me some time, I can write some shit. But as far as like just going out
Yeah.
there, nah, man, I'm nah. Drake could probably beat me, and I know he's going through problems right now.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Listen, I will say, I'll answer that. Well, not answer, but I'll respond to that twofold. I'd rather be an immaculate poet rather than a mediocre rapper any day.
mm,
I always wanted to be a rapper. I wanted to be like MC like Queen Latifah, but when I realized it's something about how that works don't work for me.
mm,
But I will say that I have my own like way with instrumentals when I get my hands on them. Funny thing, I always wanted to put my poetry with music. And early on, I tried to do that, couldn't find ways to do that. So I started making beats for myself and then eventually for other people. The way that I recite over music is way different than how I recite over an a cappella soundless environment. But at the end of the day, I'd rather be an immaculate poet than a mediocre rapper.
you know what? I've never heard it put like that, but I promise you, I totally agree with that. Like
Yeah.
I rather be an immaculate poet than a mediocre rapper. I definitely would be. As far
Yeah.
as like recording your pieces, whether it's a cappella or with music, what do you feel like is the biggest difference as far as like how you deliver your piece?
I think I'm a rapper in my head when I'm in the booth. But then it don't come out that way.
Let me find out.
You can go to YouTube. It'll be under my maiden name, Sharita C. Williams. There's pieces with music. Um, they're gravy. I ain't gonna. I love my work. I love my growth through my work. So I will always big up my work. Some people might not even say it like that. Uh, I have to be my own biggest fan first and foremost before it comes out to you.
uh-huh.
From the head to the hand to the pen to the paper for you and me to savor. You know, that's really how it works for me. And uh next question, next question. I ramble, so you gotta catch me.
No,
You
no,
gotta
no, no.
rope me and bring me back.
And see what you gonna realize on this hill? There's no such thing as rambling, man. Them your feelings. You express that. This is a
Good stuff.
straight up informal show to the point where I'm about to light up in just a minute.
Oh
Like
my.
we're
Let's
that
go.
informal. Yes.
That's
So
all right, bro.
I know I asked you to bring a couple pieces, and I definitely would love to hear a piece now if you are ready to spit.
I am. Uh
All
I could give you a prelude to the piece. Um I have two kids. One of my children, I had her when I was 15. I was very young when I had my daughter. Shouts out to all the teenage mothers to grown women who have survived that, not even struggle, that experience because it grew me, right?
right.
In different aspects, all the way down to being mom and dad. And I know some people have a compromise consideration about that, but never will never celebrate Father's Day for any of the men in the world. But I'm talking about responsibilities that women have to undertake that is a duality between mother and father. That's what I'm talking about. Um, I wrote a poem while my daughter's father was incarcerated. He was incarcerated for 17 years the first time. And so, I really got a taste of really just single parent life. Now, I had my parents, God bless them, God rest them, rest in power to all of them. Um, but, still, as a young person, you got it from your elders. You take care of this responsibility, you made this responsibility, and by the grace of God, I was able to take care of some responsibilities. But this is a poem, uh, kind of chronicling some of the thoughts that I had at that point.
Okay. Well, the mic is definitely yours.
All right. Instead, he became a penitentiary bound pupil of an institutionalized life and mentality. Brilliant but dumb at the same damn time, leaving children fatherless for years and years, yet audacious enough to blame anyone but himself for his children being the way that they are. Wondering why the mothers can't stand him for it. Male presence is pivotal in raising children. Mamas cannot do it all, but bear the great responsibility in trying to be everything a child needs. Pride comes before the fall, especially in the case of young mommies looking for love in the wrong places. Thug passion spilled on a rose that grew from concrete, an appetite for destruction conceived. Prep with convincing yes false statements, motion of discovery without giving anyone up. Because this life, to create it, ain't going nowhere. Neither are the excuses for the paternal absence. Many years passed, attempted to fill the dream deferred upon release, but went back as quickly as a crack sale, a heroin hit, or even a minor misdemeanor violating time. Wasted. What's worse, the lack of financial help to care for another life for over 20 years. The inability to console abandonment issues tainting the confidence of a young growing mind. Or the trial and error placement of stepdaddies and blended families broken. Proof beyond a reasonable doubt, right? Hmm. Nobody ever screamed free him except baby girl, not even him. The reality was too much. Way easier to stay inside and gamble Debbie cakes and contraband. Doing trustee work to make a wage, pay tail calls on another nigga name because nobody outside care enough no more to even want to take 10 minutes of their life to hear the lies, let alone put another dime on them books. Ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. They all in, up to and including breaking the code of fatherhood. That's deeper than any felony.
So that when you when you finish penning that piece,
Mm-hmm.
because this is what it sounds like to me, and I just want to know if I'm reading correctly. When you finish penning that piece, did it feel like weight lifted off your shoulders?
Um, no, it was more like an enlightenment about myself. That's what I get when I go and write, and then about something very, very important to me, and I put it on paper. Then I read it. It's almost like it's like about someone else, and I
Mm.
think to myself, "What did you do to get here? What can you do to not make yourself feel like this any longer?" And a lot of times, getting up on a stage, reciting these pieces, sometimes I'll pen it, go spit it, can't get through it because I'm crying, because I'm embarrassed about it. I'm embarrassed to myself. I'm embarrassed to my, experience. And then I build strength and confidence and growing myself and possibly growing someone else through the piece until I can get on stage and spit it proud with my chest out because I'm no longer there. It's like deliverance.
That's like like it's healing. Like it's
Absolutely.
like poetry is healing. Like, it's emotional medicine. I told somebody very special to me that I want to get a tattoo that literally says poetry is the language understood by emotions. because it's so hard for me to just like sitting down with somebody and trying to explain how I feel.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to do that. But if I put it in a poem and you allow me to perform my piece, I can give you an entire roadmap of my mental state at that moment.
Right.
You know? Like so, yeah, man. So yeah, I love that piece. I love
Thank
that
you.
piece.
Thank you.
I found a piece I think I'll spit for right now. It's actually it's not really titled, but it's basically my relationship with poetry and why it came about.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
I built a relationship with poetry because I didn't have any other reason to love me. My mother, my grandmother, my aunties, some uncles, they were all there for me, but something mentally was telling me that the love they were trying to show me was not really for me. It was a show for other people. Basically, a stage play written and produced from the moment of my conception. How can they love me when I don't even love me? Time continued to move on, but the feeling in my brain remained. In fact, it grew stronger, and it produced dark thoughts in my mind that found comfort in my soul, and it led to me asking myself questions like, I wonder, would anyone even miss me if I were gone? One day, I was fed up. I was tired of feeling like a burden. I was tired of pretending to be okay. And on that day, I decided that my suffering was over. I got the gun out of my mother's room and I placed that 38 special with the hollow tip bullets on my dresser. And I picked up a pen and paper with intentions to write my final words. But when I grabbed that pen, every feeling I had about everything flowed from that blue .5 fine point tip ink and rushed through the rivers of my eyes. I put her gun back and threw away the paper. At that moment, I found me. At that moment, poetry saved my life. So today, because of that moment, I will always bring life to everything that I write. In peace. Like you, like
For
that.
sure.
That's a true story, man. Like I'll never forget that day. Like I will never forget that day. And
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure she might be watching the show, so I'm sure she's gonna question me about why I went in her room and I ain't had no permission to go in there. I used to get my ass whooped for that, but she used to always hide the best snacks in her room. So I used to go in there and just risk the ass whooping.
I will tell you, like a lot of people, like suicide or the thought of it, you know, I get real emotional about it simply because there are people that I really love who have told me that they wanted to take their own lives, and I really just couldn't understand the idea of taking one's life. But then that was like early on. I will say that I've never been suicidal in the sense that people would think. Mm-hmm. But whenever we do things that's self-destructive to our behavior, to our lives, isn't that suicide in itself in a way?
That's right.
You're gonna succumb to your own dot you know? Yeah, and so I say that to say I'm glad that you don't feel that way anymore. And I thank God that you're here.
Thank you. And I will be honest with you, it took some work, but a lot of the work that it does take is reaching out, and that was the hardest part for me, was reaching out. You know, I grew up with the stigmata that men don't ask for help. Like my mama never put that on me, but me listening just around to everything, like men don't ask for help, men don't cry, men don't do this, men don't do that.
Right.
Well, men kill themselves because they can't release this. Men kill themselves because they can't express. You know, so I'm glad that I was able to actually find a group of people. Shout out to Epiphany Radio, and Blast. You know, people who I can come to. Like I recently just had a friend who committed suicide in front of me,
Mm,
and these people were there for me, like there for me. You know,
yes.
and like so, I love that. So if anybody who's listening, if you're dealing with any thoughts like that, please, I'm begging you, reach out to somebody. You can hit my inbox. I don't have to know you, but I love you. You deserve to be here for a reason. Reach out to somebody and let's get things cracked. Let's get things fixed.
And shouts out to D Ray with Soul Res Music and Blast Radio. He told me something the other day. I had saw it around, but I really didn't think much of it. But there's something called 988 that you can dial now just as readily as you call 911. And you can get help that way too, wherever you are.
No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. Man, D Ray, speaking of D Ray, that man's like a super producer. He turned one of
Yes,
my pieces into something magical, man. Like this dude is a monster. Oh man. So, whew,
absolutely.
so what is your favorite genre of poetry to write? And is that the same genre of poetry you like to perform?
Yep, free verse all the way. I really this might bite me in my butt, but I'm aware of the fundamentals and all the things in regard to poetry. But personally, as a poet, as an artist, as a creative, free verse is it. I'm not about to be in the confines of iambic pentameter or 1 2 1 2, like, I mean, if it falls in those confines, great, but I've never been the one. Um, I like Shakespeare. I like sonnets. I like all the things. I like all the things. It's just for me, just to being able to write it out, bounce it where it need to bounce, pause, place, emphasis on words where it needs to be. That's just where it's at for me.
Now, I'm about to make you laugh. So
Okay.
I've been writing poetry since I say since like the age of 12.
Yeah.
I've been performing since probably 2000, well, probably about the age of 18, so about 2000. I never knew that there was like more than I didn't know what free verse was. I didn't know that I was writing free verse. I thought I was just writing poetry.
Yeah.
Um, as of late, I found out some different forms of poetry,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm realizing that I really like the haiku. Like I have no idea why,
Quick
but
and
I
easy.
really love haiku. Like,
Quick
and
and easy. Knock it out.
yeah, I've caught myself putting posts up in haiku. If I'm mad about something, I'll put up a post in haiku to get it out.
Yeah, real quick.
Oh man, oh man. So, do you have a favorite poem of yours, and why is it your favorite piece?
Um, I don't have a favorite.
What?
I don't have a favorite. Um, my very first piece, I have a piece that's ready over here, but if I had a chance right here at this moment, could I spit this piece? I haven't spit this piece in a few years, since before COVID. Can I attempt to spit this piece real quick?
Of course you can, and I'm sure gonna try to get you to spit like a rap later on because I want to hear the skills.
I can spit. You know what? Later on, I'll spit you my first scribe.
All right.
Like when I was listening to Tribe Called Quest, real heavy. Shouts out to Q-Tip, the abstract. Okay, I'll
The
spit that one later,
abstract.
but I'm gonna do this one right quick.
All right, bet that up.
If it had to be a poem, it would have to be this one if it was my favorite. It's called Him. Let's see if I can remember this thing. Okay. He was born in New York into a hectic life. I knew he was a genius when I looked into his eyes. As a child, he was well liked by others. When he came around, he really inspired brothers and sisters, everyone that knew his worth. By the time I had met him, he had murked. Been out to Cali and to the Midwest, but here on the East Coast is where he was loved best. He was loved, mad love, because he was our prince. First time I laid my mind on him, I adored him since I was impressed with him, fell in love with him. And I know everybody else wanted to get with him. I was impressed with him, fell in love with him. And I know everybody else wanted to get with him, but he needed somebody to keep him whole, those greedy bitches thriving off his innocent soul. Helping others was one of his perks, sometimes misused and made him look like a jerk. Maybe because he was used to walking in everyone else's shoes. He knew what he was destined to be, something special, and everyone would see that he could hold his own and make his mark before too long. When his thoughts and complex mind learned his true self, he wanted to find people to understand and see what he sees. And on his quest, he came through NC. Now, I remember him a little bit older than me, but he turned me out without even touching me physically. Intellectually, he intrigued my mind. His aura emulated vibes along universal lines. First time I was ever in that state, and it's been like that since 1988. Over time, he's been called many names. His versatility is definitely his claim to fame. I loved him best, though, when he wasn't so easily influenced, but I still love him because he's still moving, sometimes changing the game with just one line, and when he spit, he blows people's minds. I realize I got to appreciate his ways, though, because just one conversation give me thought for days, yo. Stimulation to say what should be told, stimulate my mind, and I was sold on the theory of what passion my hands can hold. The same feeling I had a long time ago. You see, if you're feeling me, you know who I'm talking about. Give us that power, that clout to express lines over beats. Whether in a place like this or in the streets. I never knew love like this. Nothing else could compete. Y'all love him like me. He gave us our voice. He gave us sight to see, our generation's choice. He's come too far now. Ain't no fad to fade away. Because if you ain't know, hip hop is here to stay. I did it. Hip-hop.
He killed that shit.
Listen. Look. So you saw my face when I finally realized I was gonna get through it.
You had that, oh shit, I'm almost through it.
Yeah. And I see, you supposed to still hold your face, right?
Oh, fuck all that. That was dope. I'm looking at the comments right now. Dylan is going nuts. He's such a fan of like all types of art. And Dylan going nuts right now in the comments.
Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna tell you, I don't want to take too much time because I don't know what else you have for me. But I will say I wrote that poem in like the year 2000, man. 2000, somewhere in there. I wrote the poem in the year 2000. Common also has a poem in the likeness of hip hop and a girl. You know, so like, I love Common. I love how he spit. I used to love her. Gosh, I love that poem. But it wasn't ever anything intended to compete with or mimic. It was just really like that, you know, that's how I feel about hip hop. I felt like people be abusing them. And I don't like that. That's bad. I don't like that.
Yeah,
you know,
we gonna definitely dive deep into that conversation because I mean, especially with you being, I consider you a straight up hip hop head. You know, like I know I can bounce some things off of you, so I definitely do have some hip hop questions if I am allowed to ask you those questions. Excuse me.
Absolutely. And one more thing, I will say the closest thing that I've ever gotten to hip hop in my whole entire life in human form is the guy who eventually became my husband. And so like to write that poem was like to actually write about his life, which was interesting that it mimicked the same type of life that hip hop has lived. You know what I'm saying? And so shouts out to him for inspiration for that poem as well. But yeah, that poem, that's my signature piece. I haven't spit it on stage in a long time. So shoot, now I know I got it in my mental
repertoire.
I might have to go back out with that one. A lot of times, you know, you try to find newer, fresher pieces to go with whatever you're out reciting and stuff like that, or either the event that you're doing, make your pieces conducive to the vibe of the event. But But yeah, what would you want to ask me about hip hop, Paul Cram?
Oh, hold on. Wow. We right now we about to bring Veep up so we can get the Black Spotlight artist, and then we go. Then I want to get into this, and I'm petty for this. I want to get into this Kendrick Drake situation.
I will definitely love to get my input on that.
Set that up.
What's going on, my two favorite people? Hey, I'm loving the whole conversation, the poetry. Sharita, I already know I'm a fan, so I ain't gotta say nothing more to that.
Thank you. God
bless it. Tonight, the lovely Sharita said she wants to have a little chill on the Blast Artist Spotlight, so we got our girl Demi Day, and this is called "Be Like You" right here on Blast.
Yeah.
Everybody can't reach like, everybody can't dream like, everybody can't be like, everybody can't be like you, everybody can't reach like, and everybody can't dream like, everybody can't be like, everybody can't be like you. I understand you got your own thing going, merely on down the stream, you better keep on rowing. They try to knock your self-esteem, you better keep on glowing. Don't let nobody in between that future you be knowing. So here's my message to you: ain't no person on earth that can outdo you. Be yourself until yourself, you'll be honored that you knew you. Only you can be your rock when it ain't no one else around. And if you don't love yourself, then the only way is down. But I believe in you, I see you got some dreams in you. Full speed ahead, I see you got some steam in you. Just keep chugging away, be grateful for every day that you get to bless the world with such a beautiful face. Let your shadow make the chase, let your heart dictate the pace, let your mind give you the strength, and let your spirit run the race. I bet your ancestors cheering, seeing the path you clearing. Nothing worth fearing, every lesson worth hearing. But every now and again they try to break you. Lean into them wounds even though they might be painful. And when they heal the scars, that's when you gon' see a breakthrough. I'm praying that you make do with every resource within your grasp. Multiply it forth and be generous with your math. Kindness in your hand, willing to understand that every single second you get is another dance. And every single moment you breathe is another chance to do something you love, to always rise above. Parting for the past, don't let that trauma beat you up. Be gentle with your mental and everything you done been through. End of the day, you're the reason I grabbed a pencil, so I could draw you up a motivational stencil. Tracing the inspiration, make way for the destination. Trust me, I can see all of the places that you're headed, and I'm here to let you know you ain't gonna never reach a dead end. Everybody can't reach like, everybody can't dream like, everybody can't be like, everybody can't be like you, everybody can't reach like, and everybody can't dream like, everybody can't be like, everybody can't be like you.
Yeah,
and that is our girl Demi Day.
That's one of my jams right there. Yeah.
Man, she's so dope.
I'm telling you, Demi she got some strong ones too, boy. Anyway, so listen, if you are an independent artist or a spoken word poet or even up and coming comedian looking for some exposure, you can go to blastmusic247.com and register for free. But Blast is also looking for the fans. So if you're a fan of great music, you can also go to blastmusic247.com, register as the unlimited fan, and have access to hundreds of independent music. Blast, we're constantly changing the industry, one artist at a time. All right, gang.
Man, that's what's up. That was a dope ass song.
Yeah.
That was dope. So, before we get into this controversial hip hop situation, I'd like to know if you were ready to spit another piece.
I can do that.
All right.
What you want? You want some self-affirmation, or you want just something inspirational? What you want this time?
You know what? let's get some inspirational for these listeners. Let's get some inspiration.
Okay. So of everything, I always got it always chain linked to another thing. I like bridges. I will say bridges are not really that prominent in the area of the country that I live in. Obviously, you guys have a very long 26-mile long bridge down there that I have to overcome, I suppose. But then there's one of my more favorite bridges.
Fuck that bridge. I know it's bridges. I know.
You talking about Pontchartrain?
Yes.
Listen, man, shout out to my poetry squad, Gates City Griots. We're in formation, developmental stages, and this is our second year poetically, doing things to work toward competitive slam in the country. And so the next Southern Fried Poetry Slam is our regional poetry slam, is in Louisiana next June. And so we may have to cross this bridge. Well, actually not may. To get to Louisiana, you got to cross Lake Pontchartrain Bridge. It's a very, very long bridge. It's basically sitting on water, and I'm not a fan. So we're going to have to figure something out, either fly or actually drive across this bridge. Literally to the point that I've spoken to my team about it, like, yo. But anyway, maybe that's like a spiritual thing. You know what I'm saying? That'll be our first regional poetry slam competition. To go over that bridge would be something monumental in the spirit as well, poetically for us. But boom, this poem is not about Lake Pontchartrain Bridge. It is about the Brooklyn Bridge, my absolute most favorite bridge in the whole wide world. I'm scared of the dickens of this bridge. I think I crossed it the first time in 2014, walking. It was amazing. And it was just something about that experience that washed over me when I walked it and got to the other side. It was almost like anything that I was dealing with at that moment was definitely something that I could conquer just by me feeling the power that I felt when I walked over this bridge. It was amazing. So this piece is about the bridge and what it means to me. Shouts out to all my relatives and family and friends who I've tried to make walk this bridge with me. Some people brave it, some people, really ain't a fan or whatever, but it's how I feel about the Brooklyn Bridge. Here we go. Being from the South, this is an amazing place. Nothing like it back home. I love this space, yeah. This bridge means so much to me. Friends and family laugh at my obsession. Trying to drag them along to walk it. I can't expect them to understand what it does for me to be one with this bridge. All it took to build it, sustain it, it reminds me of me. Strong, larger than life, solid and brick, weathering storms for others' benefits, to make it from one place to another, yet standing alone in this harbor, it saved me. I walked to the bridge with the paper I wrote on, then I threw it down and let the past float on. All the thoughts and the pains that have been ailing me, all the shame and the grief that had been failing me, I put it down in ink. Let the water make it run. The weight on my shoulders made it feel like a ton. Now the burden is light, so much less to bear. Like when I cut my Caesar and shorn all my hair, yeah, freedom. Like what the Brooklyn Bridge gives. Like so high from the water, like it terrifies me, but my bravery supersedes being scared. I walk to the promenade and stand there looking at the bridge, talking to my life. See you on the other side, I whisper as I begin to walk, observing different sights, thinking bigger thoughts, tossing my fears into the harbor. As I walk the wooden planks, so many other people are walking it for other reasons. Maybe some, one or two, similar to mine. Once I get to the middle, I stop, look out on both sides, and I inhale, exhale, and close my eyes to feel the sway. As the harbor sounds resonate and the winds blow, just for a moment, it feels like I'm alone. I love the feeling of overcoming my fear of heights and water by myself. It transcends me, feeling invincible, and able to overcome anything else. The bridge helps. An inanimate object, but gives so much life. Sometimes I walk it with tears in my eyes the whole time. Its beauty conflicting, even fighting against my pain to make me better. Others I can walk in confidence to let my friend know I'm okay today. Smiling, finding peace along the way down to the Manhattan side. I walk fast down the ramp to get my celebratory slice of pizza, every once in a while looking back, whispering, thank you. I'll see you soon. Because I know you'll be there. In peace.
I look at bridges differently now. Like, you really gave a beautiful perception of this structure. Like, I never had problem with bridges. Like, to me, it was just a means to getting from one side to the other. What created my slight fear, I didn't have a vehicle. I was working at this job where we got off work at 2:00 in the morning. And in order for me to get home, I had to cross the Red River. And to cross the Red River, I had to get on this bridge, the Jackson Street Bridge, where there's a part where you can walk or ride your bicycle. And I was riding my bicycle and a damn 18-wheeler rushed past. And I felt the wind and I told myself, this is not how I'm going to die. I said, fuck that bike. I got off the bike and I just walked it all the way across the bridge. And I was like, never again. I got to find either another job or another way to work, because this is not, I can't do this.
This is not going to work.
But that was a beautiful, beautiful piece. That was a beautiful piece.
Thank you. It still gets me emotional because some things I'm dealing with right now. And I know it's time to walk it. God willing, we're scheduled to go next month because my husband has an engagement in the Bronx. So most likely I'll get a chance. I need to. It's time for me to walk it again, because there's some real heavy things I need to put down on paper and throw down in that water, yo.
That's what's up. Like, that sounds so therapeutic. It sounds so therapeutic. Like, to put your thoughts, everything that you're carrying, all that weight, all those burdens, and to just literally watch them wash away in that water. Like that, I want to do that, but I just don't trust the water here where I'm at. I feel like something gonna grab it and
you
throw
should
it
make
back.
a trip to New York to cross this bridge. You'll understand. Like, I mean, of course, you can walk across the Golden Gate Bridge and this, that, and the third, but honestly, this particular bridge is a main thoroughfare for cars as well as bikers and walkers to get to and from Brooklyn to Manhattan. And I guess my husband, he from New York, he's like, I ain't never thought about walking the bridge. Like, he didn't walk the bridge ever until I took him. But he said when he finished walking it, he understood why it was so relieving. It's just amazing because you can feel it sway. You can feel it sway.
See that part right there.
But it's okay. But look, I'm super scared of bridges, and you're not. So that means you can. You can do it.
I can stand right here. I can sit right here and tell you right now, without a shadow of a doubt, that, and I'm gonna mean it. Yes, I can walk that bridge. I can say that right now. Until I put my foot on that bridge, and the first sway that I feel, my body still might want to go, but my brain gonna be like, "Look, cuz this is not for us. Just walk backwards slowly and get your ass up off of here. Go get in a car."
I hear you. I understand.
It changed when I got older. Like, I used to love roller coasters. Now I feel like when I see them, all I think about is Final Destination. Yeah. It's like my childhood is gone.
I used to like roller coasters too, but I don't do them anymore, especially these days.
No, I don't trust it. I don't feel like y'all have enough knowledge to build this. You're building them too fast. Like,
too rickety for me.
No, I'm good. You know what? I'm gonna grab a turkey leg and I'm just gonna walk around and just people watch.
That's all you gonna do. Yeah, shoot, that's all you need to do sometimes when you go to the fair. Maybe not them fair rides. I don't know. We ain't gonna talk about the fair rides. Never mind. Enjoyment. Enjoy life however you choose to.
Yeah, I eat. That's what I do. I go there and I eat turkey legs, funnel cakes. There's a thing out here, like, because I'm actually in Iowa at the moment. I'm from Louisiana, okay. But they had at their fair. I couldn't make myself do it, and I'm not ragging on anybody from Iowa, so don't get upset about this. But I don't understand who came up with the concept to fry a stick of butter. Like, I don't know why in the hell they decided that. Okay, so let me explain. There's a stick of butter, and it's fried. It looked like it's like it's a breaded coating. It looked like a thick ass chicken.
Wait, pause. Wait. Like a fried chicken, but it's butter instead.
It's butter, yeah. And people were like literally buying it and eating it, like, man, because everybody calls me poet out here. Like, poet, you should try it. Like, nah, I'm good. Like, my family has enough.
How is it not melting?
I mean, people fry ice cream too, so it's some type of whatever method that they're doing. But I don't feel like I'm adventurous with eating stuff, but I'm not. I don't think I want to do that. I don't think I want to just bite butter, like, you know. Like, no. And then that crunch before it, I don't think that's.
Ew, that's weird. And I really don't make faces at people's food. Really, I might do this, but I don't never make the ooh face. That was a lot.
Now,
how do you chew it?
Like, see, and then you said that, and it just, I felt squishy. Like, I felt.
Right.
Oh man, but there are some like foods out here, and I think it's really messed up because I'm from Louisiana, so I feel like there's no place in the world whose food is better than the boot. That's just how I feel. But I know there's some good food in different places.
Yeah.
But there's things here that trouble me. Like, every restaurant you go to here, I don't care what it is, except for McDonald's and Burger King, there's a pork tenderloin somewhere on their menu, and it's double fried and it's seasonless, and it's but it's a staple up here. The same way that crawfish and shrimp is in Louisiana. Like, everything is a pork tenderloin.
Bread it?
Yeah, every one of them. They're definitely breaded. There's absolutely not a speck of nothing that tastes like. It really tastes like they killed that chicken, flattened it, put some flour on it, and fried it. But I feel like I'm biased because I'm from Louisiana and we're like super
y'all
flavorful.
Are the seasoning flavor capital of the world.
So it was difficult living up here trying to eat. So I do a lot.
Did you go and get your own seasonings?
Yeah, like, I go to restaurants with stuff. Like, I have stuff with me when I go to restaurants. Like, I either bring my Tony's, or depending on if I go to like Tony Satchery's. If I go to, like, there's a little seafood place out here called the Laughing Crab. I bring my Old Bay with me. You know, because it's not seasoned. So I just bring my stuff with me. Yeah, Louisiana to the core, baby.
That's right. Definitely take your seasonings wherever you go.
Now, I need to know.
Yes, sir.
Kendrick Lamar. Drake. Okay. Before I ask you who you think lyrically won the beef, because I pretty much think everybody knows, everybody has their opinion, but do you feel like their battle was good for hip hop?
Yes, I can answer these questions. Okay, so one, I will say that the hip hop that I know, the hip hop that I grew up off of, was telling me about my blackness, telling me about how to be better, be black. You know, don't worry about what everyone's doing around you, do you. You know, and Drake started making clone music. Like, but let's go ahead and say that Drake is a pop or pop, R&B, hip hop entertainer.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
He has melodies, he has soul, he has rhythm. I've never heard any rock in his music. I've never really heard him do guitars and things. So all of the elements from rap, hip hop, and R&B are in his music, and he's an entertainer. I want to make that clear. People need to understand that that was like bringing a knife to a gunfight. One, because Drake has ghostwriters. He has never said he has not, so I will always maintain that he did. I remember I was sitting in that chair right there on Friday night, whenever that day when they went back and forth, boom, 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 boom. Mm-hmm. I can literally believe that the reason why Drake didn't respond as speedily as Kendrick did that night is because he didn't have a ghostwriter on deck, and he couldn't have done it himself. Kendrick Lamar is literally going to write a 16 on your ass, go downstairs and record it, email it to his engineer if he gives a shit about what it sounds like, but if he don't, he's going to drop it in your face every time. Kendrick Lamar is a writer. He is culturally endowed in hip hop, because how people can say what they want to say about gangster rap movement in the early 80s with Ice-T, Ice Cube, all those guys in WA, but they were telling their stories, just like New York boys was, just like Houston boys eventually did, just like everyone in the South eventually did, was just telling our stories. Their story was just a little bit different than everyone else's, because it was just different. We'll just say that, you know, because we'll get into a whole nother conversation. But Kendrick Lamar was born and bred into all of that. Drake was not. I'm not saying that he didn't know rap, this, that, and the third in Canada, but I'm just going to say how hard it was for me to get rap in North Carolina from New York City, in the same country. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had to really get down into it and to understand it and look and seek it out. Nowhere in there, when he was on Degrassi, was he elemented in hip hop at any point. He didn't. You understand? They're just, for me, this is just me as a musical aficionado looking at the whole big picture, right? It began something that he probably wanted to take a stab at. Hey, I think I can rap. Let's try that. His group is all on his side because they're supposed to be. And people are pushing him from behind. Like, yeah, do that rap shit. Right? I don't believe that he was ingrained in hip hop the way that Kendrick Lamar was.
Agreed.
It has nothing to do about him being half white, this, that, and the third, you know, because J. Cole half white too. All right. But it was more or less like how he embraced his cultures, his bi-culture lifestyle. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you can't sit here and tap dance and diddy bop about your bar mitzvah and then slap that culture in the face whenever you want to be black. And then when you want to be white again, you slap that culture in the face. A lot of times I saw that in his material. I'm a Drake fan. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I used to have it bad for the light skins back in the day, you know, and he, you know, made it easy to be like, yo, light skinned guys, woo, again, you know, but at the same time, when he got thick, and then he got the beard. So, you know, he was very entertaining for a while. You know what I'm saying? All of the things, all of the different genres. You know, I'm married, so I got to be very careful because I love and honor my husband very much. But at this, you know what I'm saying? What I'm saying about Drake, he just, you know, he was very entertaining on many levels for a long time. He got his money. But Kendrick Lamar, even before he even did this right here, he came in like a hawk with his fucking claws out on everybody. And he said it on everybody. He said it in a rap. F all y'all. It's big me. It's just big. It's just big me. What you mean? Ain't nobody else. And yeah, you know, you're supposed to feel like that as a rapper. Muhammad Ali felt like that as a fighter. He's supposed to talk that talk.
You're supposed to.
You know what I'm saying? If you think you're the absolute best at what you do, you talk your talk. T.I. did that for a long time, sitting in Atlanta with all these other popular rap dudes around him. I'm the king. But did anyone say he wasn't the king? No, they just let him live his life.
That's true. So
let Kendrick live his life. Let him feel who he feel how he feel. This, that, and the third. He contributed greatly to unity in LA, which inadvertently will hopefully contribute to unity across the country in regard to the people that they assimilate with. I choose my words correctly and graciously. But, you know, I tell you, Kendrick is a hell of a writer. At the end of the day, he's gotten a Pulitzer. Who in hip hop?
Exactly.
Got a Pulitzer. You a writer. You a real writer. And like you said earlier in the podcast, hip hop is poetry. Poetry is hip hop. So it comes back down to the equal. Drake ain't getting no Pulitzer, so he's not the best writer.
I feel
Kendrick won when he got the Pulitzer. This is just a formality.
Just unnecessary rounds, huh?
Listen, no, they were necessary, but he just been one. He been one. Does that answer your question? Because I really, like I said, I go around the bend. You got to reel me in.
Definitely. I have another hip hop question for you, though.
Let's go. Yeah.
So I talk to a lot of people who are hip hop heads, and I really want Veep to come up to be part of this particular question, because I remember asking it before and I never got a complete answer. So let me see if I can get Veep up here real quick. All right. So
what's up?
Here's my question, and I'm basing this question again on the fact that it just dropped. So Eminem just dropped his new album. And I'm not sure if either one of you have heard the album or not. I've listened to it.
I heard his one song. I forgot the name of it, but I did hear his one song he dropped.
Yeah, so it's the whole album is basically Eminem versus Slim Shady, and the album is called The Death of Slim Shady. And M really just he digs in his bag with this one. It's a very controversial album. I'm pretty sure people are gonna try to cancel him for some of the shit that he said, but that's Eminem. Here's my question. As far as hip hop goes, is Eminem considered family or a guest?
As far as hip hop goes?
As far as hip hop, is he a guest of the culture or is he family? If you come to the barbecue, cuz you good.
Right.
He more family than Drake is.
That part.
Only because he's a rapper. He's not just listen to what I'm saying. Drake is an entertainer, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
His elements are soul, R&B. He dabbled in the reggae culture, rap. He's an entertainer, y'all. He's an entertainer.
So
Eminem is a rapper. Eminem is a rapper.
M has proven himself to earn a seat at the table. Yeah. I ain't talking about the kids' table. I'm talking to the big folk table. I ain't get the big piece of chicken. He earned it.
Yeah, he get a guy.
And that's saying a lot, because a lot of artists didn't earn it. They got it by association.
We're
gonna leave that alone.
Speak on it.
We're gonna leave that alone right now. But
Speak on it.
M built his name and he took people with him. So
he will never be broke. After 50 Cent, he'll never be broke.
Mm-hmm.
Never, ever.
Yep.
Never, ever.
You saw how M brought D12.
I'm definitely an Eminem fan. I've been an Eminem fan.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get to be a serious Eminem fan until the Marshall Mathers LP. I didn't get to be a real Eminem fan until the Marshall Mathers LP. Simply because he started to bare his soul. I like the Diddy bops at the beginning, but he started to bare his soul. My absolute favorite album is Relapse.
I think mine's the Eminem Show. I think the Eminem Show is probably my favorite album. Yeah.
All I know is...
Yeah, I really want to know that because people really give him a lot of flack, you know, and it's one of those things where it's actually because of his skin tone. It's like why I feel like he doesn't get the position or place that they say he should be. Like when he I forgot which song it was, and he named his people. He goes Reggie, Jay-Z, Tupac, and Big. Like he named all those people, and then he let it be known. But at the end of that list, then it's me. Like recognize the talent, because in real life, lyrically, who fucking with him besides Busta?
And that's the difference. He acknowledges people consistently. He has never said that I'm the best white rapper or the best rapper. He's never said none of that.
No, we made that argument.
I don't recall him ever tooting his horn, to be honest. But to the fact that other people who are up there, Busta, 50, shoot, other MCs that has the word Eminem come out their mouth, give him praises. Even more so, give him the respect to not even step to him, because they know everyone that did step to him. Everyone that stepped to him, what happened? Machine Gun Kelly made a mistake. The step
50 will bust they ass over Eminem. You hear me? You remember that time they was trying to start sprinkling him, and 50 was like, nah.
Not gonna happen.
Don't
Even though he's a complete savage right now, he's a complete savage. 50 Cent. I think the world would be remiss to not have 50 Cent. Even about
he
this,
did so much for the community, though.
Attempted presidential assassination yesterday. That will tread lightly and speak lightly. Even that about part. That on his Instagram page, 50 Cent is a savage. That's all I will say.
50 is a savage. You say what he say and mean it.
Man, but 50 is my internet hero. He is my internet hero. 50 Cent does not give two shits what comes out his mouth. It ain't like he's worried about you checking it. When that man told Floyd Mayweather got all the money in the world. And he told Floyd Mayweather, I'll pay you this amount of money to read a chapter of a Harry Potter book.
He sure did.
Bro, that killed me. Like, oh man, he know this boy can't read.
Why you gonna do that man like that, 50? He don't care.
Read. He don't care. And I love it. I love it.
One time he said, my mama dead, my grandma dead. I don't care about what nobody yes or no is. I'ma do me in this world.
There it is.
I'ma do me.
There it is. Like, you can't argue with that.
Well, you got to check, But the one thing I did want to say is, to me, lyrically, the hardest I've ever heard Eminem bring it was the song with him and Busta going back and forth.
Bro,
man, I was mind blown.
It's like neither one of them would let the other one outdo the other one, and they just, oh my, that was.
Did you ever?
That's the only nigga that roll with Busta Rhymes.
Did you ever hear about Busta talk about it? Because he had wrote something and he heard Ease, he balled his up and went back into the lab, and it's like they're that competitive, bro. They're like, nope. KRS-One is another one that's like that. That's my dude, though. I love KRS-One.
Yeah.
KRS-One would probably say that Eminem is not rap family.
He probably would, but you can't please everybody.
Just like some people will say that African Bambaataa is not hip hop anymore. In spite of things.
Oh, I've heard of that.
African Bambaataa is still hip hop, regardless of things.
How is it not? How is it not hip hop anymore?
I can't say on this podcast.
Oh, we'll talk later.
Research.
I'm definitely gonna do that. Yeah, I'm definitely going to. I have to, because I don't understand. That don't even make sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That don't make sense.
Absolutely.
Well, Sharita, what? Tell us what you got going on, and let the world know where they can find you, how they can follow you, and things of that nature.
Okay. First off, you can reach me at I am _ she will on Instagram. That's I am _ she will on Instagram. If you want to email me, you can email me at esoentnc@gmail.com. We'll drop that information in the little chatty thing. Let's see what I'm doing. First of all, I want to shout out the slam team, Gate City Griots in Greensboro. It's one of 5 slam teams in the state of North Carolina. We are up and coming. We are developing and growing. Shouts out to Slam Master Gas, the whole team. This slam team caters to adults 18 and up, all races, ages, sexual orientation. You got to say all the things these days for people to feel inclusive. But we cater to everything and everyone.
That's what we do.
And we all about poetry. That's what we are about. Slam. We have some great prospects going forward, great fundraising drives. We have a slam every first Sunday in Greensboro, North Carolina. $100 prize. Come out. Our prizes are not based on our door. We come to the event with our money. I don't know if people get groovy with the certain things. There's a lot of stuff going on around poetry, about poetry these days. And we are legit, we are genuine, we all about that work. Growing poets, people come to our stage, scared to write, scared to poeticize, come off stage beast mode. That's how it works. We love growing people up in the slam and in poetry, performance poetry. Our stage is a safe space. Bringing back nouns and verb poetry in the fall. Nouns and verb poetry was an open mic that I had going in Greensboro, North Carolina for about a year or so. And I took it to Clubhouse, but for reasons beyond my ability to mention right now, I stopped it, but I am bringing it back. Look out for that. Of course, I curate it, so I'll be there. You can always check me out. I'm either sack poeing at the Gate City Griots Slam from time to time. Definitely getting on stage, keeping my pen and my performance level fresh by getting on stages. I have 3 events that I've been commissioned to write poetry for between now and September, which I'm eternally grateful to the families that sought me out to write poetry for their loved ones' occasions. You can catch me at the Augusta Arts Festival in September. The date is TBA, the stage is TBA, but if you follow me on my social media, you will know. I also will be performing at Onyx Urban Media Awards ceremony in October in Greensboro, North Carolina. So those are just the next 2 public places that you'll be able to see me as far as being on someone else's stage. And then of course the stages for the things that are in my realm that I curate or have assistants curated in.
Salute.
But yeah, that's me. You can always check me out on Blast too in different places.
I was going to add some conjuncture for her since she has said a mouthful. I'll do this for you, partner.
Thanks.
You can also find her on the Center every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we talk about hip hop and nothing but hip hop. You can also find her periodically on our new rock and metal podcast, which is called Blaster, where she's already interviewed one of the dopest South African bands in a long time. I don't even know of any others, so let me correct that. They were awesome. And we're also going to be having her do various interviews, where she got one coming up soon with a former New York Giant, which that's around the corner, but that's what we do. You can find her interviewing.
God is good, man.
So we making things happen around here. So I'm souped up for her. I've always believed in her. She's a dope individual. She's got the chops. I mean, there you go. Her resume is about to grow with us as well as whatever she does individually. So It is.
God is good. I thank God for all you guys. I thank God for you, Paul Crum, and everything that you're doing with the movement for the Louisiana Lyricist Lounge and beyond. For sure, man.
Thank you so much. And I also want to thank you for making time to come to the lounge today, man. I truly appreciate it. I really feel like I had a superstar on stage, so I need to hurry up and get your autograph before you get too big to answer my inbox and shit. You know.
Man, God is good. God is good. I thank God for everything. I'm telling you.
Well, it was an amazing show, man. I had a great time. I want to thank.
Me too.
I want to thank everybody who came through, who watched the show, all the followers, man. Much love, much love, much love. Once again, much love to our guest, Miss Sharita C.W. Dela Cruz. She told you how to get her, follow her. You will not be disappointed. And on behalf of Blast Music 24/7, I am Paul Cram, the poet. This is the Louisiana Lyricist Lounge. And if you ever have anything to say, people, like I always tell you, speak on it. We out.
Peace, y'all.